everybody tells you this is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Really? So there's no downsides to Bitcoin? Yes, there is. And we're going to be talking about it in today's episode. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm here joined with Mr. M.
Boom.
We're at the Moon Show. I'm
squatting the studio.
Yeah, exactly. His equipment here and actually doing a recording. Thanks, Carl.
Cheers.
So yeah, we are recording this show at the Moon Base, and I really think everybody talks about what is the positive things about Bitcoin, and there is going to be a lot of positive things, right, about Bitcoin. Right? You mean you have access to your money and nobody can control it, nobody can stop you, right? But what's the flip side of that?
Yeah, exactly.
There is a flip side to that.
Mm-hmm. There's always two sides of the coin,
exactly.
Right?
Can you think of some of the negative sides to everybody having control of their money and being able to spend it anywhere they want, even governments?
I can think about something.
What would that be?
The option to lose everything.
Well, yes, yeah, exactly. You could have it once it's stolen from you because you control it. It's gone. That's it. But really, you could say that, well, that means it's going to be harder to fight crime, right? Because now those criminals can easily hide money. It's not like they can't hide it now, but
dollars.
Yeah. But yeah, it will be easier for criminals to hide money and evade the law, right, through this current digital revolution. And you could say, well, wait a second, it's a public ledger. Yeah, but there's ways you can use the public ledger so that to prevent the police or law enforcement actually to hunt you down, right? If you're clever enough, right? If you know the technology well enough, you can evade the law.
Yep.
Yeah. So that is a downside of Bitcoin, right? One of the downsides of Bitcoin is that law enforcement is going to get extremely difficult. And so that means it's up to you to be more responsible. And that's another downside we could talk about in Bitcoin, right? Is that you have to be more responsible. You can't go listen to people that says, dude, can you just give me your Bitcoins to hold and
I'll double it.
No, I'm not gonna double it. That sounds like a scam.
Hold it.
I'm just gonna hold it and give you only 1 or 2%, right? 2%, and you're like, oh, 2%. Well, that doesn't seem like a lot. Yeah, it can't be a scam. It's just 2%. Just so you know, if we were to start off with $1 when Jesus was born, and at a 2%. Compounding monthly, not 2% every month, but divided by 12, and compound that have the compounding every month, like it would be a point less than a percent per month, right? You would have a number today that would be so high it would be equal to all of the atoms in the universe.
Wow, was it Einstein? Yeah, I think it was Einstein who said that one of the strongest is a compound.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. So if you start off with a bigger number, right? You see the problem, right? Oh, wait a second, I can't get 2% forever. Yeah, Jack.
Yeah. Exactly.
So because it's fixed supply, so don't fall into that trap of, hey, you know what? I can earn interest on my Bitcoin.
Because you lose your custody, which is the most important thing, right?
Well, so you could earn interest for a little while, but eventually that's going to come to an end. And you could say, well, I'll just beat the Ponzi scheme. Okay, well, guess what? That's your butt if you lose it all. Don't come crying to the government and say, hey, that guy scammed me. No, dude, you scammed yourself.
Exactly. I guess another downside I'm thinking now, which is more like a funny one, but it will be the fact that when something is digital, you will spend it faster. Right?
Like, yeah, you're right.
For example, remember when we used to have money in our pockets back in our days, right? And then they introduced even like the card and tap and pay. You don't even keep track of the spending, right? Because you don't see them, you don't touch them.
Yeah.
So I think that could be also a downside. It's kind of a funny one, but it could
Yeah, you're right. It is a bit of a downside, but I think people will come up with technology that will solve that problem. So I think because this episode was like being us, we wanted to make this an episode where we summon our inner Nostradamus.
Yeah, exactly.
And see what the future would hold for Bitcoin. And then we came up with, hey, let's talk about the downside of Bitcoin. So anyways, so one of my future Nostradamus feelings is that we'll have like cards that, we can load and then we can quickly tap and pay with Bitcoin. And so you would see exactly how much you've got left after you've tapped and paid it. So there you go, wait a second, dog. This took some more money than me, right? And so there might be like a reverse transaction, right, immediately on that button. So you could go, oh, that's not correct, right? Or something like that. There'll be something cool to like. Basically, you go tap, and then you go, oh yeah, that's all right, and then tap again. Maybe it would probably be the smartest thing to do, right? So that you can like actually go, yeah, I'm not agreeing to that, right? Because that's was the thing I noticed with the phones, actually. I noticed that something's wrong with the phones when you pay. Because I never see the price.
Yeah,
Right? I never see the price. I think that's something that's broken in the phone. Because I don't know, they sometimes don't show me how much they're charging me. And
so
that's
you
the problem.
basically tap it and then...
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to see that, right? When we tap our phones or any kind of device to pay, we're going to see, hey, oh yeah, that's right. That's how much I want to pay. And then tap it again to agree. I think that's the thing that's broken with the Apple Pay. Yeah. So, I think we're going to see that as an innovation in the space of digital money. Also, we're going to see in the future, right, that a lot of here's the thing that's a possibility. This is definitely going to happen. You won't be able to buy a house with a mortgage. You won't be able to go to the bank and say, "Hey, can I borrow some money to buy a house?" They'd be like, "No," right? And you're like, "Why?" Because you see, dog, they're not going to be able to print money
anymore
and lend you the Bitcoin in this case, right? That's just not going to happen. That's what they do today. So it doesn't matter, right, about the house because they use the house as collateral, right? And it doesn't matter because what happens is that they could print it as much as you want, and then you have to work as a slave dog to pay back that mortgage, right? And the reason why there shouldn't be house loans or consumer loans. Consumer loans would just disappear, right? Credit cards and stuff like that are consumer loans. They just can't exist in a Bitcoin world.
Yeah.
Because why is that? Why can't they exist? Because they're collecting interest, right? Mm-hmm. How much interest did they normally collect on these things?
It depends on whatever you want to buy, right?
Yeah, it's pretty high, right?
Yeah, it's really high. Sometimes over half. Yeah, think about mortgage, for example. You pay way over double, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, how limited is the currency rate? What's the limit of Bitcoin? What's the limit?
At 21 million.
Yeah. So and so, how are they going to collect interest on everybody at let's just say 14%?
That's not going to happen. It's not happening. That's right. Yeah. So, and then on top of that, there's another issue with that. Is it that we innovate, and then as we innovate, things come down in price, right? Including labor. And so if your labor goes down in price and your mortgage is the same, then,
how are you going to pay that back? Yeah. It's not going to happen.
True. Do you think we will see, I'm thinking about another downside, do you think we'll see insurances, for example, now, since Bitcoin allow me to send you money, and let's say I made a mistake, and you don't send it back. You say, oh, dog, you've done it, it's your fault. That's it, deal with it. Now, which goes back to what you said in the beginning, be responsible, right? But maybe I make an honest mistake, and I pay my client double the amount, or whatever happens, and they say, well, you've done it. See ya. Do you think we'll see some sort of a maybe insurance where people will say, or like a third party where I transfer to a third party, the third party manages it and then takes a commission?
Yeah, the insurance company would do that for you. For example, yes, exactly. That's a brilliant idea, actually.
We should set it up.
Fucking genius.
Satoshi's insurance.
Damn. So he just came up with something, the new financial systems that allow you to actually transfer money a little bit faster. That depends, of course. Like, if it gets held by government, then it creates the same problem. But if it's like, multiple key kind of deal, right?
Yeah, DAO, exactly like a DAO system.
Exactly. Where, if the government comes involved, it doesn't matter. The people can transact between each other. It becomes easier that way. So, for example, what you can do is send it 3-key agreement, right, to one account, right? And then you give some cool off time before you actually send the money, right? 2 of the 3 people have to agree on the money being moved, right? And then once it is moved, right, those 2 people, whether it's just the 2 people who agreed, the people who already had the agreement, or the third party decides to come in and decide where the money goes, right? So yeah, that is a definite new kind of business. So if you start setting something up like that right now, what happens is you will see, it's too early for that, but because you set it up now, you'll learn about all the mistakes that most businesses won't know, and you'll be able to build it in such a way that it's stronger than anyone could build it to starting off from the beginning. So that's your advantage if you were to build something like that. So he just gave you a new business
yeah, exactly. Because there's going to be so many needs, like when it comes to responsibility. And that's why I think banks, they came in play, right? Because people said, okay, wait, don't worry about your money, give it to me. But the problem, like you said, is those are super centralized people and authorities and organizations, which means they will own your assets. But if there are ways, and there are, to actually keep the decentralized overview and allowing people to have some sort of an insurance, that could work.
Yeah, definitely. I'm feeling that. I like that. Yeah, I like your idea. Okay, so Another downside for the dark side of crypto. Let's see. But the best way to see the downside of crypto is to see the positive side, because for every positive side, there's a negative side, right? There will be a large number of people, right, that will be wealthy, right, but it won't be as large as we think it is, right? Those people who are buying right now and holding, right? Some of them are just not going to hold through the next bull market. And so it's going to be a little bit of a concentrated wealth, right? Once Bitcoin becomes money in our lifetime, you're going to see a large concentration of wealth. You might think of it as a negative side, and it can be, because you know what? Right now we do have a large concentration of wealth.
Yeah, fair enough.
And you know what, honestly, it will still be that way even if we had no matter what type of money. But the problem to today's money is that large concentration of wealth is in the hands of really bad people. How come? Well, if you do, so if you could steal and get away with it, does that make you a good person? And you did it. Does that make you a good person?
No.
So exactly. So that's what people at the top are. They understand, right? At a fundamental, whether some don't understand it, I agree, right? But some do understand that this system allows them to steal from you without you knowing it. Do you think that person is a good person?
Yeah,
no, you don't,
a
right?
Good point. Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah,
exactly. And so that concentration of wealth, although it's going to be the same, right, level of concentration, the number of people that are bad is going to be reduced significantly. So that's the difference. But there will always be a concentration of wealth. And you know what? Jesus put it best. The poor will always be among us, right? Yeah. That's just the way it is, right? Because the reason why is because 50% of the population has below average intelligence. They can't help it. That's just the way the numbers work out, right? And so they're not going to be able to make the kind of wealth that is generational wealth, right? And you know what? It's not so bad. The only thing that is bad, right, with comparison to our current financial system, is that they can't save their small salary and hope for a better day, better future with this just the cash. I always said that when I was growing up. Why can't I just save the money and not bother investing it and gambling it on the stock market?
And just keep it there.
Exactly. Why can't I just do that? Right? And what was the answer?
Inflation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because they destroy themselves. Yeah.
Exactly. And that is the most safest thing to do, is to
just keep it.
Exactly. Right? Just keep it.
Just go to work, get your salary, leave it in the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
No
but
problem.
I can't do that. I'm unable to do that. Don't you see something wrong with that? That is the example of what, our financial system has done to us, right? And so we won't be, you will be able to save your Bitcoin in the future and then, have a retirement, so long as you don't let anybody steal it, of course. You'll have more wealth than when you first started. Why? It's because the value will constantly go up.
Going up, yeah. I have a funny counterpart on that one. Regret. 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. That's a funny one.
Yes.
Because the asset goes up. And if you use it and you wait 10 or 15 years and you look back, you said, oh, remember when I bought 2 pizzas with 10,000 Bitcoin? I mean, it's not regret because, of course, but it's like a counterpart, right? And every time you use your money, your real money, your Bitcoin, then you know that in 10 years, whatever you purchase would be less valuable. Right? Makes sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Man, I think when with regret, it's just more of like, oh, I wish I had.
Yeah, it's
wish
more like a funny, yeah.
Wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda, or if ifs and buts were cherries and nuts, and we'd all have Merry Christmas. Yeah. So yeah, don't be one of those people who are ifs and butting and wanting a Merry Christmas, but they can't have it because they didn't do what they knew they should do. All right, so what you should do is save some Bitcoin, of course. Now, we promised you some negative sides to that. So, of course, the Keynesians would say that's a negative, that people are just going to save.
Because they're not going to spend money, right?
Yeah.
They're not spending, yeah.
Yeah, that means there's deflation. Prices go down. Oh, no. That's horrible. That means your money's worth more. Why would you want that?
It's pretty bad. It's really bad. Yeah.
And because you see prices going down, right, you're just going to assume that they're going to continue to go down forever. So you're just going to hold on, right? Isn't that right? You just hold on forever because it's more valuable to hold numbers than it is to have stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah. But you see, like I said, you will see the market fixing itself, right? You will see people buying things they want or they need as opposed to, if you think about definition of where we are now in society, we buy stuff we don't need with money we don't have.
Yeah, because the money that we don't have is easy to get.
Exactly. So as soon as the money becomes money, then people probably use it in a different way, right? So, But yeah, the negative is, like you said, on the flip of the coin would be that.
Exactly. And you might say that that's bad, that, hey, wait a second, that would mean if prices go down, my job value, my income will go down in my job. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. That's the dark side. You will lose your job a lot faster. You will be replaced a lot faster, right? There will be more layoffs a whole lot faster than it is today. Why? Because the companies raise prices before they raise your salary. And so effectively, it's like giving you a pay cut, right? Yeah. Without you even noticing. And so with Bitcoin as money, they can't do that. They have to let you go, or you have to increase your productivity, period, right? And so this is the downside. And if you're running a business, you won't be able to, keep employees, right, on a ever increasing scale what's it called? Increasing their income. It's got to be in the opposite direction. And most people are not going to agree to that. So, yeah, you have to come up with, as a business owner, you have to come up with innovative ways in order to operate your business. And under our current law regime, it's really difficult to fire people. And it will be a nightmare for corporations to deal with, right? With Bitcoin. So this is the scary part of Bitcoin as money. Right, it's not going to be bed of roses, right? Whilst you could say, well, wait a second here, my savings is going to go up. Well, yeah, that means your job might go away.
Mm-hmm. Your job is to hodl.
Exactly. So in that case, right, where your job goes away, right, you'll always be able to get another one, right? Because your costs have dropped. So when you get another job at a lower income, right, you can, still survive because everything's gone down as well. So that's the flip side of it, right? Whilst again, we flipped it from one side, positive. Hey, prices are going down, but at the same time, your job is disappearing. But at the same time, back to the price is going down. So you got to be happy one way, right? Even though you're unhappy another way. So yeah, that's the way Bitcoin will give you that kind of lifestyle. I mean, life is going to be completely different when Bitcoin's money. I mean, so much will have to change, and it's going to be a difficult transition, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult, especially from where we are now, which is super early days, right?
Exactly. In today's society, right? Like you said, we buy this crap we don't need with money we don't have, and it's so easy. It's so easy because money's flowing everywhere. Yeah. And when it's so easy, that's what happens, right? Even if we're in a hard money standard where Bitcoin is money, if you're getting money easily, you're going to spend it easily. Yeah. Right? That's just the way the human nature works, right? And it's just no stopping that. So, and this is why our financial system works the way it works, where it gives you credit so easily so that you can
spend it fast.
Exactly. But hey, and when Bitcoin's money, you won't be getting that credit.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That all depends on your perspectives.
Yeah, what side of the coin you're looking at. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, I think we covered a lot of cool points here. I think this should be on a podcast so you guys can listen to this afterwards, and maybe we'll put it on your channel or something, and then it goes on a podcast so you can listen to it. And maybe we'll put the link in the description for the podcast for this thing once we convert it to one, because I think it's something you should hand off to your friends and so they can listen to it and understand that whilst Bitcoin does have its upsides, it does have its downsides. Right?
Yeah, of course. Everything has the other side. Yeah, indeed.
Exactly. And I hope you learned some of that today. And and prepare for it because there's no stopping this.
It's happening.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like. Head over to Mr. M's channel because he's going to probably post it again there and make it a podcast. And also check out the Moon Show, right? Because you do it live, right?
Every day 5 GST Monday to Friday.
It's worthwhile checking that out. All right. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
Cheers.